Hello, friends, welcome back to my channel Late Night Deep Talk and Comedy. Well, as we talked about in the last video about how to read minds, in this one, I'm gonna talk about how to hypnotize someone without even them knowing that you did it. But for that, I'll say, like, if you want to do this, it will be really better if you watch the last video and learn how to read others' mind first before doing hypnotizing. And Tratak, that meditation I talked about, the Trataka meditation, that's also a very important thing in the whole procedure if you want to do it without the other person knowing. Otherwise, you can just read a couple books of hypnosis, find yourself a victim who's agreeable to be hypnotized, because once when a person is agreeing to be hypnotized, he will have it in the back of his head that, damn, I will get hypnotized anytime he's trying to do it. That thought just wandering all the time in his head in the process when you are doing it. There are a lot of, like, hundreds of methods to hypnotize someone, but the process and the thought that keeps on running in the victim's mind who already agreed to be hypnotized by you is like what makes it happen. The real hypnotism, the scientific one, the legal one, the one they talk about in the books, you can do it even without anybody knowing that this thing happened. But I'll say that you should not do it. You won't be able to turn anybody into your complete slave, but you can actually be, like, I'll say 2 or 3 steps ahead of manipulation. Like, manipulation happens in the form of words, in which we put words in the subconscious mind of the person and make them do whatever we wanted them to do in the end. But in hypnotism, it will be a little different. The person is gonna go in a trance state, so whatever suggestion you give him in that time or give her in that time, it's gonna have like a big impact on their subconscious mind. It's gonna stay there forever, whatever you tell them, because that trance state they are gonna go to is gonna be the most peaceful state. Even if a car crashes outside, they won't hear that. The only thing they will hear is like your voice when they are in the trance state. But to do that without somebody else knowing it, there are very less ways compared to the one for the legal kind, when somebody says that, yeah, you can hypnotize me and give you the permission. But this one, doing it without somebody's conscience, it's gonna be a little hard. That's why I said if you do the Trataka meditation, you will have that natural attraction in you, so you won't even need to be using hypnosis like that. Once you are like that much attractive, or your energy levels and frequency have been raised with meditation, I'll say, like, try meditation for 22 days and you will know the difference between you. The only way to meditate is like close your eyes, observe whatever thoughts your mind keep giving you. For example, if I had a thought of fucking up slapping somebody, I'll observe it. Okay, it was an aggressive thought, this, that, and I keep focusing on my breath in that time. After 5 minutes, 10 minutes, there will be a time when you keep focusing on the breath and noticing, as what do you say, we say, like, the mind have employed people's body nowadays, but to be a good meditator or sadhak or whatever you say, a disciple of meditation, you need to learn to, like, employ your mind instead of letting your mind employ your body. You need to employ your mind. So yeah, that's what you need to do, because 99% of the people in the world, they are living like this. They never tried meditation, and their mind, it gives them small ridiculous desires. Like, if I need to eat a candy, then they will go follow that desire like a puppy and waste all the time of their life without even doing anything big. That's just the cockroach life, the middle class life of anybody who doesn't do anything big, a normal middle class life. It's because of this consciousness, this awareness you do not have all the time whenever you are sitting in the present time in your surroundings. That's what makes the whole difference. But anyways, let's talk about the techniques of how you can hypnotize someone without them even knowing. There are a lot. I'll talk about 3-4 techniques over here. So the first one, this one is actually very easy. So you don't have to tell them that you are gonna hypnotize the person. But in this trick, what you need to do is, like, the basic steps of hypnotism is, like, first you need to put somebody's attention towards something. Second, then you need to create a confusion or a disbalance while their focus was on that one thing. For example, some people use a ring, some people use the sound of a teaspoon hitting a teacup. Anything could be a anchor for that. Anchor is something that starts the whole process. The step one is anchor. Like you need to set up an anchor if you are trying to hypnotize somebody. Like whenever that thing, that bell hits, the person get in that state. After that, all that time, it could be anything, a ring in your hand or a watch that have a very good shine, something shiny, I'll say. That helps a lot. But for the first thing, you don't even need an object actually. You just go to the person and then place your arm in front of them, then say put your arm on top of my arm and apply as much force you can apply to put my arm down. Like raise your arm up to the face level of the other person while they are still sitting, and then tell them to apply force and put your arm down towards the earth side or the gravity where it is. Like tell them to put their arm above yours and like apply force to bring your arm down. So how this happens is like they will apply pressure to bring your arm down. They will have their arm on yours while you have to always pay total attention. That's why I said if you don't know how to read minds, it will be very hard, because your consciousness is like, and the consciousness or alertness is highly required in these things if you're doing it without somebody not knowing it. So when that person will be applying force on top of your arm to make it bend down, you just watch for the exact moment when the person got, like, you need to look at the person's eyes when he's doing it. Wait for the exact moment that's gonna come after a few seconds, as if like when he's totally into it, he's putting all his force in it, he doesn't think of anything else, he's just trying to put force on your arm to bend it down. Exactly when you see that in his eye, that yeah, he's focusing on it, just take your arm away from it. Like you just make your arm, pull back your arm from there so his arm falls down. Now what happens is like this is a disbalance or confusion that we created over here at this step, because the person who was applying all his arm's force to bend your arm down, your arm just disappeared from there, you pulled it back. He wasn't expecting that. He was expecting to put your arm down as he can with his strength. But when he was putting all his strength and then his arm fell downwards when he pulled yours back, for just 1 or 2 seconds or 3 seconds instantly, their subconscious mind will be in a state of confusion, like damn, the fuck happened. He won't know what's going on. Exactly at that time, use the first two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, bring it close to the eyebrows where the eyebrows combine, like the middle part between the two eyebrows, bring it towards their eyes. When that happens, it is for sure, like if you're bringing your fingers towards somebody's eyes, their eyes are obviously gonna close. So they'll close their eyes and then just rotate their head slowly a couple times, like in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. A slow rotation you need to do with your head while having the fingers over there to like keep it in a state, like cover his whole eyes with your hands on the by that time, and just like say sleep, sleep, relax, sleep. Say words like that at that time. Honestly, don't even say relax, just say sleep. And it may not work the first time you try it, but I guarantee you once you do it more than 7 times, the 8th time this is gonna work. And this depends on the person also, the type of person it is. If someone is fucking more conscious than you, it's not possible for you to hypnotize them. Their spiritual energy, their frequency, everything is higher than you, so you can't do shit to somebody who's on a higher level than you. But this was the first trick to hypnotize. But the basics are like, the first tip is to create a attention towards something, make an anchor which will like induce the hypnotism every time. For example, I was talking about you can make a shiny glass watch as an anchor, a ring or anything, or a pendulum where you make people focus on it to hypnotize. But pendulum, then they will know you are hypnotizing. If don't use a pendulum, use a ring or anything, like literally a sound or anything as a trigger that you got to use, or an anchor at that time being to start the process of hypnotism. And the second one is like have all their attention towards one thing, all their mind's attention toward one thing. That one thing you have Like in our case, it was my arm. His attention was all diverted towards pushing down my arm with his own arm strength. But when I took my arm backwards and his arm like fell down like this, because my arm wasn't there and he was putting force, he was thinking he will need to apply more force to bring it down to the level, but that wasn't it. That's where he got confused for a couple seconds, like what the hell happened when I pulled my arm back. In that confusion time, that's where you can induce hypnotism on anybody by pointing your two fingers in between the eyebrows, make them close their eyes, rotate their head slowly couple times, 3 times, and just say sleep, 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 and say it in a way that actually works. I mean, in my time, I did it on 4 people. In my first 3 tries, it didn't work, but on the fourth try, it worked. And after that, I have tried some other methods also. So I will say the success rate is 75% in it. Every human is different, they are built different, they think different. So that's why I said it's like you need to know the person you are hypnotizing before doing anything. You need to know everything about the person's psychology before getting into their mind. First of all, you need to learn about the mind psychology, and then the other person's behavior and mind psychology, whose mind you're trying to read. Once you can read their mind, think just that they are hypnotized, you can make them do whatever you want. Now, for example, what do you guys think is the best way to make somebody think that the idea came from them own selves? When the idea is yours, you want somebody to do something, but you don't want to tell them straight up that do this for me, please, it's a favor. You want them to do it on their own. How will you do it? So the easiest way to make that happen is like by making the person think that the idea came from inside his own head, not by you. Even though if it's your idea, you want it to be done, but you need to make the person believe that the idea came from inside his head. That's how this thing works, like making anybody do anything that you want to do them to do for you. This thing, if you are like good with words, have good mind focus and attention and consciousness in your surroundings, you slowly by practice keep getting good at these things. Now there's another thing I can say, like that arm thing I told you about, the one trick for hypnotizing. The second one I can say is like, for example, somebody is walking by and you just, what do you say, hit them from the back of the shoulder. Like somebody is walking, just imagine you go from the back, hit your shoulder with their shoulder as a tackle form. They'll be like a little bit in a confusion at that time, that who the hell hit me from the back like this? I don't know anybody here, how did it happen? And the moment that confusion is happening, it turn around and look at you, put your fingers on the forehead and say sleep, sleep, sleep. But the arm technique I told you about, that one with me it worked 75% of the time. It gave me more success because I never tried this one, the second one I told you about, told you guys about. But this one also works. So the basic thing is what I told you about before: gain attention, create confusion, induce hypnotism. There are many other ways also of doing this. Honestly, I won't lie, this one I was taught by somebody, but there are a lot of them that I have thought of my own also. Once you keep giving your time to this stuff, you keep on going ahead and ahead. But yeah, first of all, you will actually have to learn how to calm your mind and how to keep an empty mind without any thoughts, and be conscious in the present moment. That's the only thing that's required the most to do hypnotism or mind reading or anything psychological, or what do you say, mental powers or shit like that, supernatural mental powers. To gain anything like this, the first thing you need to do is how to calm your own mind, make it empty. It shouldn't be saying any thoughts, like an empty thing, nothing inside it, completely clear mind. Well, hope you guys liked the content. I'll speak more about how to hypnotize in the next video, as this one have already been so long. Well, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, share if you like the content. Thank you.